Today, I should have been on a plane to Israel with the Holy Land Democracy Project. So I'm actually wearing the t-shirt today. And I wanted to go to Israel because I felt like there'd be a lot of value in understanding the stories of the region. And I felt like what I learned could also benefit myself and others. Trip of a lifetime Holy Land Democracy Tour. I think it's an opportunity to hear stories. Like, what are the experience and stories of the people sometimes we know about, but to go there directly and to hear the stories is something I'm very much looking forward to.
We'll be taking superintendents, teachers, leaders throughout our educational system to Israel to learn in a 10-day trip to understand the beauty, the complexity, the history, the pedagogy within Israel.
I'd attended a full-day training where I got to meet some wonderful folks and learn about the history of Israel, as well as an orientation. And I could tell you that I've already learned so much and am eager to learn more. But currently, there are actually no flights going in and out of Israel. So had I been in Israel, there would have been no flights out. And for the past 6 days, about 1,400 missiles have been launched at Israel. And even with the Iron Dome, 24 people have been killed and 1,800 people injured in the attacks. In fact, I recently talked to someone in the US who's on a business trip in the United States, but his wife and 4 daughters are in Israel while all this is happening. And of course, as they're staying in contact and calling each other, he can hear the sirens of the incoming missiles. So this is a continuation, of course, of the attacks toward Israel, including the October 7th attacks, where 1,200 people were killed and 251 people were taken hostage, including 53 who are still there. And then I think about the United States and the attacks toward Jewish Americans, including the murder of Yaron Lashinsky and Sarah Milgram, young engaged staffers at the Israeli embassy in Washington, D.C., our very capital. And then the attempt to burn elderly Jewish individuals in Colorado. And it reminds me how this whole situation is also impacting fellow Americans as well. So I'm not really here to talk about how I couldn't go to Israel this summer, but this awareness had made me want to learn more about what's happening. So part of what we received was this book called The Israeli-Palestinian Conflict, and I realized how much I don't know about the whole situation. And even when I talk to really well-meaning and educated folks, they also don't know a lot about this situation as well. So if I were to ask, like, for example, chapter 1 asks some basic questions like, who is the conflict between? Who are the Israelis? What's the difference between Israelis and Jews? Who are the Palestinians? What is the difference between Palestinians and Arabs? What are Palestinians and Arabs fighting about? What role does religion play in the conflict? What is the size of the territory? Who was there first? And that's just chapter 1, and there's just so much more, with many different questions. And I'm realizing how little I know and how important it is to know more. And the Holy Land Democracy Project actually believes very much in education, that this is the linchpin.
So education is key. Education is the way in which we will affect change.
I'm wearing this shirt, but if I were to turn around, the back of this shirt actually says, beyond the headlines. Beyond the headlines. So when we think about Israel, there certainly has been a lot of headlines, but we want to go beyond the headlines, listen, reflect, and education. So for me, I think this is an opportunity for me to continue on, even though I'm not in Israel, to listen and reflect, and also to educate on what I do know. I'm going to go ahead and provide links that were provided by this organization into the description. And I thought I would share this out. So if you have a friend who is a Jewish American, let them know you're thinking of them. I think it would mean a lot to them.